Good evening, Christina of Red Soul. Thanks for tuning in. You know where to find me on public radio, iHeart, Spotify, Breaker, etc. And my website is www.red-soul.org. What was brought to my heart and my attention tonight was the attention from Joy Reid, an Anchorwoman on MSNBC. Now, a brief background about her: she's a liberal, and she probably a commentator for CNN. And for some reason, she's got this platform now that she's got her own show. So, I'm going to read briefly her article and what she said about right-wingers. So, the article states, MSNBC Anchorwoman Joy Reid compared the Taliban to right-wingers. Despite of what's going on with the Taliban being in Afghanistan, she's going to compare the right wing to these people that are harming people, in particular women and children. So she's comparing this to the religious right in America. Her reason: she claims that the far right in America addresses of a theocracy to leave for women to leave their jobs and their children. They don't encourage that. It's biblical. A woman's role and a man's role, according to marriage in Ephesians 5. Okay? But let's define theocracy, okay? That's what she says. Theocracy, according to definition on you can define it on Google, a system of government in which priests, we don't have priests in Christianity, that's Catholicism, rule in the name of God or a God. A God is world religions. We as Christians, we serve the true and living God. So that just shows where her ignorance comes from. The interesting thing about this woman, this Joy Reid, and it's so interesting, she actually has a platform. She started out as a commentator for CNN, and then once she got her platform, when I found out she actually had her own show, she challenged a young man by the name journalist by the name of Christopher, I can't remember his last name, Mark Lamont Hill, also interviewed this person and tried to challenge him and be ashamed of being white, the very person God created him as. Okay? So Joy Reid tried to trap him the same way, and she had the audacity when he tried to speak, oh, this is my show. No, it's by name only. You did not build MSNBC. You are only there because they tell you what to do. Meaning you are the true sellout, as you accuse black conservatives being. Okay? Let's continue. So this is what she says, and then she closes talking about the critical in the January 6th Capitol riot which according to our Constitution, they had the right to be there to fight, because everybody and their mama know Trump really won. Yes, she called it an insurrection. Now, I already shared this story about the Capitol Hill cops, that committed suicide despite of all what's happening. Okay? And it's really disturbing how this young woman has got a platform, according to the white men that she complains about, and exercise her free speech according to the First Amendment, also written by white men. They give her a pass to spew her rhetoric. Now, I have an additional page here about, I already talked about theocracy, but I just wanted to close about the Capitol, the news I discovered, and I mentioned this in my podcast earlier. See if I can turn the page here. Sorry about the delay, folks. It's just so interesting that I never imagined our country would be so weak. How the relatives were awarded of these two officers, Smith and Liam Good, and I'm sorry, I can't pronounce his name. Sorry about the mispronunciation. Said that the riot may have led to their suicides, unfortunately. And again, you can look at my previous video that's monetized right now. But it's just so ridiculous where law enforcement has come to, due to the start and initiative of this ignorant woman. And she is ignorant. So I don't know if I mentioned this in my last video, but nonetheless, President Biden did award these guys with a gold medal. Okay, Congressional Medal of Honor and whatnot, as law enforcement. So my concern is, where is this country going? And in spite of that, in regards to that, freedom as Christians, if you really want to look at another Christian commentator, I would really encourage a young lady by the name of Allie Beth Stuckey, a true woman in Christ. The t-shirt I'm wearing right now, I bought this back when the Passion of Christ was out. I would say like the early 2000s, like 201 or 202, when that movie was out. And you could probably read the message if you slow down the video or whatnot, okay? Bottom line, just pray. Okay? That's our only hope. Pray for our country. Pray for our military. Pray for our government. Pray especially, in particular, because they're the bravest in my opinion, our brothers and sisters that are suffering for Christ. But I just had to bring this to you all's attention, of this foolish woman that has a platform right now in MSNBC, and I rarely watch it because the last time I did, there was a debate between Candace Owens and Michael Eric Dyson, a professor of Georgetown University, a university that he did not build, and yet he chooses to play victim and talk about white racism and white supremacy, instead of being blessed of what he has. But I believe a while back I talked about If you look at my last video, it's on Rumble only, about the root of black dysfunction or black problems. It's all about fatherless homes. He grew up with his stepfather, so he really didn't know his father, in addition to people like, I also talked about Barack Obama, O.J. Simpson, Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Khalid Muhammad. His ignorant self being in the part of the Nation of Islam, despite the fact Arabs were more slave owners, with just as many Arabic slave owners, and in addition to Africans, and then I think whites had the least. But yet they choose to have these Arabic names when they join the Nation of Islam, despite of reading the whole dictionary in the so-called Quran. That's how ignorant they are. So, despite of the fact of accusing white American men, or white men in general, of oppressing them, they run to the very same religion, the Nation of Islam, where their slave owners even taking on their names. Khalid Muhammad. I heard Muhammad himself said, "You better not say I'm black." I even heard this from Arabics themselves. Excuse me. See, the devil doesn't want me to tell you this. From Arabic countries, I'm so happy I'm white and not black. But yet, the Nation of Islam, made by mostly black males, because they're so delusional and so infested in their anger and hatred, they go to the very same people that hate them. And they better not touch their women, because black men like anything that's non-black, because they hate their features. But that's all I have for you folks tonight. Thank you so much for listening. Continue to pray for our country. Again, this is Christina from Red Soul. And pray for our brothers and sisters in the persecuted church, especially in heavily Islamic countries. Good night.